Good day, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to another weekly market forecast. I am Yemi Olaleye, and here we go, starting from the weekly forestfactory.com. Now, on the Monday, 17th of November 2025, we have the high impact news covering only for Canadian dollars, starting from the 2:30 p.m. Nigerian time, covering up for the CPI monthly by monthly and median CPI. And on Tuesday, we have no impact news. On Wednesday 19th, we have AUD, Great Britain pounds, and US dollar. And US dollar is focusing on the FOMC meeting, and that is different from the tentative ones we've been having. And of course, on Thursday, we have our impact news on US dollar and US dollar, so to say. And that's on average hourly earnings and non-farm payroll too. Non-farm employment rates and employment claims is all coming out. On Friday, we have the most of our impact news coming up, covering for the Great Britain pounds, euro, and US dollar, starting from 8 a.m. Nigerian time and 3:45 p.m. as the last impact news covering up for US dollar flash manufacturing PMI. And this is the outlook and the highlight for the weekly market forecast on the fundamental space. And quickly, let's go to the next stage where we have the technical analysis and let's see what we have from there. On the DXY paraventure, we've seen this last week. We talked about how looking for more bullish momentum on the weekly forecast. And last week, yeah, we had a significant bearish momentum. Why? Previous week we had a rejection from this price level, which tapped out from a zone like this. So I said we were looking for more bearish momentum in the short-term range because we're looking for more bullish momentum. As we're looking at our price, we still come back to a price level like this on DXY, and that is the focus for now. So every sell we're looking at now until it's broken the previous low, we're still looking for more bullish momentum on the DXY going forward. So far so well. This is the outlook on that, and let's check it out on the daily time frame perspective. What exactly does it look like on the daily? On the daily, we have significant bearish momentum all through last week, and if we bring out a trend line and we do something like this, we'll realize that the price is just reacting to a zone. And right there, we can tell that this is still an upward momentum because we are having higher highs and higher lows creation. And from that momentum, therefore, it is easier to anticipate more of bullish momentum on the DXY. So basically, I'll still be expecting more bullish momentum on DXY. Going forward, go down to the 4-hour time frame perspective on the DXY. It's going to look just like this. And just to keep it very simple, last week, this was the level we're expecting the price to tap into before it goes bearish. And look at the price. It tapped into it on Tuesday and market starts going bearish. So even though in an upward trend, we were expecting a bit of bearish momentum before we move upward again. So from this zone, therefore, what exactly are we still looking at? We're looking at more bullish momentum on DXY overall because that is what the chart is saying. Otherwise, it's a fundamental signal or impact or indicator that we determine otherwise. But currently, what this looks like is we're looking for more bearish momentum, more bullish momentum on the DXY. Look at the trend so far so well. The trend has been bullish, higher highs and higher low creation. So until this level is taken out completely, take out this previous low and unable to break above it, then we can remain sell or bearish on the XY. So that being said, this is the outlook on DXY. Now, quickly, let's move to the next guy, which is the Euro USD. For last week, we had significant momentum on Euro USD, and let's check it out for this week. Let's start from the weekly time frame analysis. On the weekly, we had a drop for last week, but we had bullish momentum at least. It was significant, and you can tell this did momentum more than 60 pips in the market in body and momentum of the candle. And this week, what exactly are we looking out for? Well, this looks bearish overall since the time of September 15 when liquidity was grabbed here. It's been bearish, looking at lower lows and lower high creation right there. And I've been expecting this price level to be tapped into eventually. But after we had series of sell in the previous week, then the previous week of this one and the last week are built bullish. So far so well. So what exactly are we looking at? Let's check that insight on the daily time frame and see what we're looking at. So basically for me, I'm looking for more bearish momentum on DXY. If DXY will be going bullish, then I'm looking for more bearish momentum on Euro USD. That's what I meant. So if DXY remains bullish, that means I'll be looking for more bearish momentum on DXY. And so far so well, you can tell, look at this trend line right there. It's lower lows and lower highs and lower lows. So far so well, we can tell that this has been bullish for some couple of days now, consecutively for like 7 days. It's been bullish until Friday. We had a rejection, turning out to be a bearish candle. And let's check out what exactly we're looking at and more than that, where is the signal or where is the indication for this week going forward? And on 4 hour time frame perspective, let's what we have. Even on the daily, it looks a little good for a buy, a brief buy before selling. But let's go out to the 4 hour time frame perspective and see what we have. On the 4 hours, I mark this level here. I mark this level to see a bullish momentum, just to see the price creating something like this, create something like this, and sell more. This is just what I'm expecting to see in the market. And of course, this same zone has been a level we buy from since last week, because we sell from since last week. So we sold here, somewhere around here. We sold from this level on Euro USD, but then that was last week anyway. So for this week, this is what my expectation is. I'm looking at the price momentum to give a reasonable signal for a sell from this level right here. But ideally, I'll be expecting the markets could actually gap down. If it does, fantastic. Then I'll be looking for more sell momentum from here. So this makes it easier. And this is just my outlook on that. Fair value gap zone right here. And I'm looking for the market to probably gap into it or move into it willingly. Then the market's moving to this direction. And of course, I would love to take a sell from here. But I just want to see a little bit of buy momentum in that before I start selling. That being said, on 1 hour time frame perspective, what is it looking like? On 1 hour, it is really, really good. Ideally, yes, just like this, we can refine this zone right here. We can refine this zone. We can refine it completely to this level right here. But I want to remain on the 4 hour time frame. That's where I trade. But ideally, this is good. It looks better. When you check it out on 1 hour time frame, it can help to reduce your risk. And ideally, it's a good spot for us to sell off from there. And basically, at the end of the day, I want to buy off my Euro US dollar when the price comes to a price level like this, which this level has been there for a while now. And look at this. So far so well on the daily. By the way, on the daily, if you check that zone, the price tapped out from that zone just closely. I didn't mark the entire thing though, but very closely the price tapped out from there in the recent time. Look at this. If you do, this is the entire zone on the demand for the daily time zone or daily time frame. But look at the price. The price not tapped into completely. So I knew exactly that I was going to wait for more buy there, but it is what it is. So I'm still waiting for the market to pull out the same way. And if the opportunity comes from here, I'll be selling forward for that. Okay, that is that on Great Britain pounds you on Euro USD. Now let's move to the Great Britain pounds USD. On the weekly time frame perspective, look at what we have. We had a significant rejection for a buy momentum last week, which was which was a hammer candle. This last week basically ended as a bullish candle in form of doji, and of course, it's looking more like we have a little bit of rejection in that zone. So, on the daily time frame, on the weekly time frame perspective, this still looks bearish. If you check it out, everything we have here is the bearish momentum after the failure swing right there. Everything we have here remains a bearish momentum, lower lows, lower highs. That means we can just be waiting for the price to do a little bit momentum into this range and sell further. So ideally, this is weekly time frame analysis. On the daily, let's see what we have on the daily. It looks pretty much the same because right here, I'm just waiting to see how the price will react to this level. Probably get into this range right here. From this zone forward, I'll be looking for a sell. This is just by the way. There is opportunity for the market before then. There's a reference point we can use, but to keep it simple and for safety purpose, so we can just look at it from this dimension. This is, of course, a daily time frame, and definitely on the 4 hour time frame it can also be refined. And by the way, this will be too much, so let's just do it this way. So let's go to the 4 hour perspective and see what we have. On the daily, this will be much a little, about 161 pips, but I'll be looking forward to a better zone on the 4 hours. If not, even on the daily, I can be looking at a zone like this because we had a fair value gap zone right here. But definitely we can use every fair value gap zone as a reference point. But ideally, I think this may look good based on the structure. Now I'll take out this one right here and I will use this regardless, expecting the price to buy into this level and sell off. So basically, that is it on daily. And let's check it out on 4 hour time frame perspective. On the 4 hours, we have something like this on the 4 hour time frame. This is how it looks like on the 4 hours. So, which means we can as well wait for the market to push upward a little into this range, and then we have more bearish momentum going forward. So, 4 hour time frame perspective, that is it on the Great Britain pounds US dollar. On the 1 hour time frame, there's nothing really much there. just that we have a little bit of momentum over the time. And if you want to refine that zone on the 1 hour time frame, this would be a supply level you can be looking out to sell from. So that means if you're looking at 1 hour time frame perspective, you'll be looking at selling from here. And that being said, it means that we're looking for a bearish opportunity at this price range. So this one looks good for the 1 hour time frame perspective. And from there to the current market price, we give you about 39 pips. But going back to where I was, this is a 4 hour time frame perspective. I prefer this. This looks good for me. And the next one is the AUD US dollar. Nothing is happening here. I don't think I will have any time to spend. Nothing have more nothing really is here. I've been looking at that price level for a while, ranging, which is expected overall. Will it buy? Expecting it to get here. But before then, we have to sell it off. But then let's see it on daily time frame. On the daily, look at this. For Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, this guy was wrapping on the same level. So I was expecting it to sell down here before I buy going forward. So basically, for me, this level remains valid for me because that is a demand zone from this level, which I cut here. And from there, the price has not been there ever since. So all I have to do is to wait and see the market reaction. So basically we wait for the price to do something like this, to do something like this. For me, I'm not really going to wait more. Just this, nothing more, nothing else. 4 hour time frame perspective, analysis remain the same. Insight remains the same bias, even on the 1 hour time frame. This is exactly what I'm still looking for. So I'm just going to wait. If it takes a long time, I don't mind. I rather wait for it to sell down into this level before I start thinking of a buy. For me, it's better for me that way. So let's get what we know in the market. Let's get to do what we understand. That is where the real power lies. So for me, I'll just be waiting for it to buy into this range and then do all of these things right there. So nothing is much, just there, just there. Taking out something like this. So this is what I'm expecting to see. This is what I'm expecting to see here. So that being said, the next guy, NZDUSD. Well, nothing is much. On the NZDUSD last week, I waited for it. The projection remains the same, so I'm not taking it out. It has been bearish so far so well ever since the price was around here, I guess. No. Since the price was September, I think September, yes. Since September, we'll be talking about this guy. And currently, look at it, it has over 300 pips. What I said is we're looking for it to sell into this range. That being said, on the daily time frame perspective, look at what we had. I was expecting it to get into this range before we had reaction last week. And of course, I wanted it to get into this level here before we start selling off. The price has not been there, so it's still moving. And of course, if it gets into this level right here, we would be buying. So the price has not done any of that. And currently, we're looking at the market opportunity and momentum, and let's see how it unfolds going forward. But this has actually pushed a little. Look at my projection for last week. All right, it was a bullish momentum, and this I want to buy from. So basically, I'm looking for more bullish momentum into this range, this kind of range, and from there I want to see a sell. So this is a sell inside another buy momentum range, and of course it looks good. I want to see it sell into this range. Then I can talk about a buy in the future. But for now, let's see how this guy move into this range for a sell. And after then, we can talk about how we can look for more opportunity for a buy at the discounted price level. So going forward, this is what I'm looking at on NZD US dollar for this week. A bit buy into this range and a sell from there. That is about 45 pips buy, and sell would be about how many pips? Over 200 pips. It may not do that completely for this week, but let's see how we can sell from here first. That is the goal. On the USD card on weekly time frame perspective, first, we had a fantastic zone right here. It's zone off, which I also expected it to sell, but I was expecting it to buy a little before then. So let's start from the weekly time frame, by the way. Weekly time frame perspective, this also looks good for a buy. Look at our target, look at our target overall. The market has been bullish so far, so well. Just that the tip was a little bit concerning. Why? Because it has been moving in this kind of formation and most likely expecting a bit of sell momentum before you start buying again. But that's not the issue now. Let's go to the daily time frame perspective. Let's see the overall opportunity and intermediate opportunity we can get. Okay. Now we have the price ranging from here on Monday and Tuesday. We have a bullish momentum. On Monday, last week Thursday, rather Friday, we had a massive bearish momentum and all of that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So the price has actually been buying again, but not really much into that zone. But overall, the buyers are still much in control, higher highs and higher lows creation. So this low has not been taken out until the price proved to take out this low, unable to take out it again to the upside, then we can see more sell momentum. And before then, let's go to the 4-hour time frame perspective and see what exactly we're looking at. Immediate response in the market. This is a good zone for us. We can look at this level for a buy, and at the same time, we just refined this zone where we can look for a sell right here. So as it's looking more like the bulls want to take back their position in the market, though we might experience a little bit of sell based on the structure, experience something like this, and then boom to the upside, a bit momentum, and that back and forth. So this is very possible to see in the market. If you ask me how am I projecting in 4 dimension, well, that's what I'm seeing in the markets regardless. Overall of USD DXY basically is buy, right? So if this actually goes to this level, it's going to respect it, and from there we can see a sell. But the sell could be about 1:2, 1:3, but we still expect more bullish momentum overall. So that's why I'm putting this there. And let's go to 1 hour time frame to further confirm if that level lines. All right. We just want to do something similar. Okay, with that now, that means we're going to be refining, and the refine zone will be here. So I'm not going to draw another one. I'm not going to refix this. I'm just going to draw a new one right here. Can you see? This is the entire range for USD CAD on 1 hour time frame. Meaning if you're trading on 1 hour time frame, this level is where you're entering from. This is 1 hour. All right, this is 1 hour time frame. This is where you're looking at to enter this particular market. But overall, on 4 hours, this is where we're looking at on the 4 hour time frame. So this is 4 hour time frame here. So regardless, we had a fantastic opportunity to the upside. Only when the price comes here, I will sell. Otherwise, I wait for the price to get here before I start buying off. But for me, that is what I'm looking at in the market. Do your own research and trade with proper risk management for the week. Going forward to the next one, USDJPY. Am I still interested in this guy? Not really sure. Not really sure. The momentum on the weekly time frame perspective looks a little bit busy, but it's been bullish anyways because this is the main target we had, and I was expecting it to actually get here. For the price to come back here, I'm not sure when that will happen. So I'm taking out this bias. It has really been like a couple of weeks, 2 weeks now, thereabouts. In 2 weeks, we've been expecting it to move that way, but it's not. All right, this previous high has been taken. The price is resting above it. This is a little bit tricky now. We may be expecting more bearish momentum and bullish in the following week. But let's see how this will go. For this week, I'm still expecting bullish momentum or a bit of bearish momentum on DXY itself. So if that should be the case, that means this guy can actually go bearish too and then give us that momentum on the daily to do like this. At the end of the day, I'm expecting the price to get here. So that is my real focus. So every other thing now is just a steepy trend in the upward direction, as you can see. It's a very steepy trend right there. And when you have a steepy trend like this, most of the times the market will actually take it out, and then you start having a bias in the market. But for me, this is the bigger picture. I deal with the bigger picture in the market. As you can see, sell down, slow and steady, moving back up there. We have a little to claim. We'll be talking about this for more than 3 weeks, and so far so well. Look at this. It has done over 760 pips. You remember I said it, right? Because when the price was here, I told you we're looking for this level to be attacked in the market, and that's over 1,100 pips. So far so well. The market has done over 700 pips, and with that, I think we're good. So I'm still looking forward in that direction. Overall buy on USDJPY, 4 hour time frame perspective. See what we have here. Nothing really much. 4 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours. Just really been ranging. Nothing really is happening here. Nothing is happening here. I don't want to see. This is how many pips in total? This is about 93 pips in total. Well, it looks rough a little bit, but let's see how the price can actually take out this level and just like that and move. So I'm taking out this one. It's still the same thing anyways, but this liquidity below this candle here, below this rejection candle here, I would like to see the price attacking it. If price does that, then fantastic. We're looking for more bullish momentum into our main range there. So far, so well. This is looking good. And the 4 hour time frame perspective on 1 hour rather, 1 hour for USDJPY. 1 hour for USDJPY. Do we have anything coming up there? Yes, it looks good. Look at the buy. We have a solid buy there, but it has gotten to a level. It's been tricky as well. So with this momentum now, bearish, 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 what is it looking like? Is it possible that we have a bit of buy momentum from here and start selling off before they do this? Is it possible? Yes, it is very possible too. something like this. It can actually take out liquidity from there. All right, this is also possible. This is on 1 hour time frame. So let me just draw it well. It can take out liquidity from here, and then the next movement will be the opposite direction. Just something like this. It's easier that way, that the market take out liquidity from here, and then it sells down, it grab liquidity, it move on and off right there. So basically, this is what I'm looking at. On the 1 hour time frame, this is what it looks like. On the 4 hour time frame, back to my most favorite time zone, this is what it looks like on my time frame, right? 4 hours. So this is also one of the things. On 1 hour time frame, that's why I consider a bit of buying momentum into this range, grab liquidity off it, and before it starts selling down. And with that, that's what I'm saying. That being said, quickly, USDCHF, nothing is much there. I'm really looking to see more sell momentum before we buy, but let's go to the weekly time frame. On the weekly, what do we have? I've talked about this multiple times. It's in a zone whereby the market has been ranging for a couple of times. And the first time it took out the previous liquidity above this level on the previous week, I suspected that they were going to be selling for last week, coupled with what we're seeing on DXY. But I'm expecting bullish momentum overall. So let's see the daily time frame perspective and who is really in charge. Friday candlestick momentum, if you can see this clearly, it took out the previous low liquidity right here. And with that outlook, therefore, let's see, did it take it out? Let's be careful with that level. I'm coming. I want to zoom it out a little bit more. Okay, it didn't. It didn't. It just bounced off from this level. The first time it happened, it was a hammer candle, and that generated a little bit of buy momentum, which was more than 200 pips. And currently, the market has gotten back to that level. Is it possible that we may have the price going below here to grab liquidity below this line, below this dotted line, and take out this level like this? Because if we're expecting it to sell a bit more before it start buying, that means this is what it looks like for this guy too. So basically, are we expecting this to happen in the market? Is this what we're looking at? Otherwise, let's see more bearish momentum from here before we start getting a buy. But ideally, if you're going to be buying here, don't worry. I'm looking at this level overall. Okay. So all of this level here, they don't really matter to me now. Only if the price is actually going to be putting out some stunts, buying into this level value gap here and creating that low momentum from here and give us more bullish momentum right here. So this is also one of the things I'll be looking at. Why we have a fair value gap zone here, which happened before the price actually broke the previous low, immediate low. Can you see that? This is the low right there, and the price is bouncing up from here. So this is a bit tricky, but I'm leaving it at this so we can have a particular bias. All right. So we are not doing, if it doesn't buy it, we sell. If it doesn't sell, we no, 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 no. We're trying to see the market from a perspective. And at the end of the day, well, if the price actually buys to this level here before it pushes down, this is another option for us. If the price buys to this level before it pushes down, well, this is a very good one too. Price can actually still buy here. All right, price can buy into this range, as you can see. Let me just draw a new one 4 hour time frame. This is a 4 hour time frame thing now. Price can do this and do this and continue buying. Why? We have a bullish momentum, bullish fair value gap zone here. So if the price actually comes to that zone to test it out, it's a normal thing. We've seen that multiple times in the market. No, 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 no. I meant to do this. So I'm trying to break this down a little more. So this is a fair value gap zone here on 4 hour time frame. The price can actually bounce into it and move into this range for us to sell off. So the sell, how exactly will it be? I can't tell how much sell it will be, but for real, we can have a sell that will give us a short-term opportunity to enjoy the momentum for a bearish direction in the market, which is right here. So this is also one of the things we can always look out for in the market. As you can see, I'm trying to keep it simple. So this is one thing in the market. Compared to the first one I had, it's still almost the same thing. But just looking at the scenarios that is playing, and let's be careful as we look at those scenarios. On the 1 hour time frame perspective, we have this zone here. Instead of me to delete it, I think I'll just undo later. All right. So this sync a little, right? It sync with the 4 hour time frame perspective. So we can actually have a sell momentum into this range, then have more buy into this range before we have a sell. So right there, this will be my outlook going forward for the week on USDCHF. All right, guys, I think I'll soon wrap up with this. JPY, Group 10 pounds JPY, not interested in it. Sorry, not interested. For this one particularly, Group 10 pounds CAD, not interested. It tapped out from the level I was expecting anyway, so that's not an issue. Group 10 pounds AUD, I'm not interested. Good, let's talk about good, and I'm off from here. On good, particularly, it's a bullish momentum so far so well. The level I had over the weeks has been there. As you can see, this level it's right here for a sell momentum if the price actually sells down. So last week candle ended as a shooting star, but at what level? Is it at an area of value or not? So that's the thing we should be checking out. Lower lows, lower highs creation right there. But overall, we're still having a buy for good. But looking like this, it's like we're going to have an extensive sell momentum and opportunity in the market following the sequence of the Thursday and Friday candles, which happen to be more than a evening star right here. We can tend to seek more bearish momentum on good, and it will only make sense if the price actually comes lower to this price level. And if you check that to the current market price of the closing for last week, it will give you about 1,827 pips in the market. So is it safe to enter like this to continue selling good from here down here based on daily time frame perspective, or the market is still coming down to test all of the previous low levels? That's we can't tell for now. But then let's see what we have on the 4 hour time frame perspective. So on the 4 hour time frame, um, I'll be looking at it from this direction. We add more bearish momentum inside based on what this is showing. We add more bearish momentum inside based on this. So is it possible we have bullish momentum? Yes, that's also possible in the market. The price actually can bounce into this range, and if it does, well, it's a very good thing. Price taking out this liquidity, whether I want to buy from there, want to sell more from there, we're going to figure that out as price delivers. But going forward for the opening of the week, I think this is a good one to start. This is the 4 hour time frame perspective. Go to a lower time frame to find what suits you. But basically, for me, I think this is a good range, and it can also help you to at least manage your risk. Based on what we're looking at here, we have a very clean lows where the market has actually taking out the previous level right here. So what is residing below these levels, they are called liquidity, and market seems more like it's going to take them out one after the other right here. So I'm looking at this zone and I'm looking at how the market will unfold. If it does, fantastic, that would be a good one for us. And from here to the level we're expecting the price to get to, that would be about 2,000 pips. And let's see how the markets will go for the week. If there's any updates, I'm going to definitely talk about it, and I will update in the group. We have a midweek session coming up. All right, if you have seen this for the very first time, like this video, share, and subscribe. On the BTC US dollar, for the first time, I'm saying I like what it printed for somehow. I love what it printed. But at a point in time, you remember we analyzed this and I projected it was going to sell from 116K to 99K. It happened. And currently, what are we looking at on the weekly time frame perspective? This guy still looks bearish right here. I'm still looking more bearish momentum on the BTC US dollar. So far so well. We can as well expect it to do a bit of sell here and there. But let's check it out on the lower time frame perspective, like the daily. On the daily time frame here, what do we have? It has been a bearish momentum since last week Monday, piling up bullish momentum from Thursday to Friday. And currently, no, sorry, that would be Saturday rather. From Saturday to Sunday, it has been piling up bullish momentum in the market, and so far so well. If we go with that, we can tell the price are somewhere like this. And also, I will be using this one. Let me take it out. I'll be using a zone like this. I'll be using this kind of zone, a fair value gap zone here, where we can expect BTC US dollar to buy into and then sell off again. This is just what I'm seeing in the market technically. All right, let's be guided. This is technical analysis, and fundamental can I'll swear as well come and make it faster or make it negate what exactly we're looking at. So this is another zone we may likely see reaction going forward in the price. That is around what price level? That's about 84,000. What will make price to happen to click into this level? I don't know yet, but let's see what we have in the market. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for our time frame on BTC US dollar as a wrap up for this week. Thank you very much for joining. If you're seeing this for the very first time, I say like, share, and subscribe. It's going to be a fantastic week ahead of you. Trade with proper risk management and enjoy the rest of the week. See you again in the course of the week and enjoy. Bye for now.